the professional yapper. We're going to be having a professional yapping session on these three topics. Water break, or should I say electrolytes water break. It's pretty good. All right. First, we're going to be talking about what the government shutdown could mean. I don't know if you guys are following the news or following the politics or following anything of that nature. However, the government is at a shutdown right now, which is bad, especially for the people at the low echelons. This is because they heavily rely on the government. That's how the government is able to keep on functioning. Without people using their resources, the government can't operate properly. We're also going to be talking about why Tyler was right. If y'all didn't see the Twitter clip, he was talking about how people change when you get the money, when you get the clout, which is very true. Then we have our third topic, which is, did Cenat and Tyler part ways with each other? We could talk about it. And then we could talk about Kai's Mafia-thon, or was it a Begathon? Pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and get started. First, my computer real quick, and we are going to search up the government shutdown and what this could possibly mean. If it does stop, and then if it doesn't stop. Therefore, let's get started. All right, first, we can look up when was the first government shutdown, because we need to understand when was the first one. Okay, so look, the first government shutdown took place on November 23rd, 1981, lasting for a day. So lasting for a day. And placing 241,000 federal employees into furlough after Reagan vetoed a appropriation bill that contained a reduced set of spending cuts that he had proposed for select government departments. Hold on. My bad. All right. Now we could talk about the last government shutdown before this one was actually in 2018. So if we look up how long did the 2018 government shutdown last? So the 2018 government shutdown, hold on. The 2018 government shutdown lasted from December 22nd, 2018 until January 25th, 2019. The United States federal government entered a shutdown lasting 35 days. And it's saying this was the longest shutdown in U.S. history and the second and final federal government shutdown involving furloughs during the first presidency of Donald Trump. Now, guys, I'm not even going to sit up here and cap to y'all. 35 days, believe it or not, is a long time, especially for the people at the bottom who rely on EBT, who rely on Medi-Cal, Medicaid, government welfare. This is like, you're not even safe being at the bottom anymore. I know most people think that you're going to be comfortable. However, if the government can shut down at random, are you even safe? What if you need those resources? Like, this is crazy to me. If you need it and you rely on them and the government is shut down, you have to figure out alternative ways quickly. If you walked away from your jobs, you'd get fired. What about theirs? Exactly. That's a good point as well. What about theirs? I mean, they won't be losing their jobs. Many people are getting laid off. There's many layoffs going on. Like, what is truly going on? It was never safe being at the bottom. Exactly. It was never safe being at the bottom whatsoever. It's never safe. I'm waking people up from the bottom to understand that this government shutdown that's been lasting for 2 weeks and 4 days, you need to take it very seriously. Even let's say more money in their pockets, less in ours. Exactly. The government doesn't care, though. The government doesn't care at all. The government doesn't care. Doesn't care about the people at the bottom. The only way the government is able to function is if there's people at the bottom who needs the resources at the top, which is the government. So yeah, you're right, Paul. More money in their pocket, less in yours. It's true. Also, What people don't realize is, even if it goes back to normal, even if the government shutdown gets resolved, which hopefully I hope that this government shutdown gets resolved, you still need to prepare. This is because it can happen at any time. It could happen 20 days after it's already been resolved. The question is, do you have the resources? Do you have a plan in case the worst case scenario was to happen? Now, I know some people will say, "Oh, stop being pessimistic." It's not about being pessimistic. However, wouldn't you guys watching this agree? Wouldn't y'all agree that it is far more guaranteed for the bad stuff to happen than if the good stuff was to happen? I guarantee the bad scenario is more likely to happen, especially if you're at the bottom than if you're at the top. People at the bottom will tell y'all that, yeah, bad stuff happens more than the good stuff. Therefore, why not prepare for the bad stuff? It has nothing to do with being pessimistic either. It has nothing to do with that. It's about understanding that when you lack resources and you have to rely on the government either to eat or just to have resources, that you need to prepare. You need to stack up cash. However, I understand that most people can't stack up cash because they're living paycheck to paycheck. Now, the question is, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, how can you make sure you stock up food? How can you stock up on water? How can you stock up on all of these things? That's a good question. I would say leverage other people. Therefore, if there's any food banks, if there's anywhere you can go, even to pay, let's say, a dollar or two just for a whole bunch of canned food, do that. If you don't have the resources, you find the people who have the resources. Don't wait until the government shutdown hits you. Start preparing for it now, even if it's just by a little bit. Even if you just save $30, $40, $50, just stack that away, stash that away, put that away. You can't stack up cash anymore because of the prices, especially on food. Right. And you are absolutely correct, Paul. I'm not even going to say you're wrong. You are absolutely correct. You can't really stack up cash, especially if you're in the low echelon anymore, because prices are rising, especially on food. However, there are ways around it. If you can't stack up cash, well, then you need to find the people who have the food that you can get for free. This is what most people, they don't think about that. They just think, oh, they can't get more food. No, there's ways to get food. You just have to try hard enough to get the food. If you don't have the money to save up, then you need to position yourself now. There's food banks out there. There's people who give out food for free. Trust me, you can find them. There's people who give out food for free. Find those people. Get the food for free. Get canned beans, canned rice, and you can start stacking. Look at the average cost of a new car nowadays, $50,000. Who's got that kind of money nowadays? Bro, that's true. I'm not going to sit up here and cap. A new car, yeah, especially, I mean, if it's not a supercar, yeah, you're looking at around $50,000, $60,000. Most people don't have that kind of money. If anything, if people are making $50,000, they're making that in a year. Like 50,000 a year, I'm not gonna lie, 50,000 a year isn't bad. It's not bad. 50,000 a year isn't bad, but most people aren't making like $50,000 in a month. That's why I'm saying, if y'all don't have the money to save up for food, find the resources, right, Paul? See, that's what I'm saying. All right, thank you for understanding. That's what I'm saying, because I know a lot of people don't have the resources. So you just have to find the people who have the resources. Don't just sit there and complain, oh man, it's okay. You just have to find the people who have the resources. So I ain't gonna lie. When I didn't have a phone, bro, because it was so hard to get a job in California, when I didn't have the phone, I positioned myself where the money could be at to get me a phone. If one thing life has taught me at the bottom, especially, is that if you don't have the resources, you need to position yourself where the resources are. That's the fastest way you are going to get out of your current scenario or get what you want. Because I know most people don't have the resources, and people will tell you, oh, just buy it. Okay, what about the people who can't just buy it? There's a lot of people out there. There's many people who can't buy resources, who can't prepare for stuff like this financially. However, if you can't prepare for it financially, bro, find a food bank, find the resources, and start stacking up that way. Because there is people who will give you food for free. All you have to do is stack it. You just have to find it. Most people don't know this stuff because most people buy groceries. They don't look for free stuff. You wish more people would have listened. Great comments. Yeah, great comments, man. Great commentary. But yeah, chat. And even going back to the last government shutdown, It lasted for 35 days. I know many people say, oh, that's not long. That is pretty long. Imagine if you solely relied on EBT and you had to wait 35 days until your next balance was coming. That's a long time, especially if you're relying on the EBT solely to get food. That is a long time. That is a very, very long time. 35 days is long. Now, when it comes to this government shutdown, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long it is going to last. I don't know. However, I'm saying to prepare now. Prepare. Now, let's look it up. So, let's say, did the government shutdown? Let's see if the government shutdown ended. 8 hours ago, when could the shutdown end? 5 key dates to watch. Day 18 of the government shutdown, and no end is in sight. 5 hours ago. How long will government shutdown in 2025 last? This is pretty interesting, chat. This is actually pretty interesting. Government shutdown, day 17. Trump promotes canceling Democrats. So let's read. Let's read the USA Today real quick. So this says, so yes, today, if you guys don't know, it is day 18 of the government shutdown and no end in sight. Apparently, according to this, let's see. It says, how long did the one in 2018 last? That one lasted. So it was from December 22nd of 2018 until January 25th of 2019. So it lasted 35 days. And like I said before, I know many people say that's not long. However, imagine solely relying on the government for food, for housing. 35 days is a long time. You need housing. You need the basic necessities every single day of your life. So I would say maybe you can expect this one to at least last 35 days or under. However, it's best to position yourself early. There's actually a quote, and I told Venom this earlier. What's good, Sharon Gradwell? I told Venom this earlier. I said Machiavelli compared problems to diseases. If you get it early, it is manageable. If you wait until the last minute, it becomes fatal and it detriments your life. Now, going back, it says the Democrats and Republicans are still at an impasse over healthcare subsidies, and the Senate funding bill failed for a 10th time on October 17th. Therefore, because of a Senate funding bill, since it failed for the 10th time or for the first time, and initially going back, that's why there is a government shutdown right now. Yup, and it's saying the longest government shutdown in U.S. history lasted 35 days in 2019 during President Donald Trump's first term in office. Chat, like this is crazy. Oh, hold on. Oh, never mind. I thought we were talking about low income. Look, guys, guess what? People are losing their jobs. It says Vaught also said previously that more than 10,000 federal workers may face layoffs during the government shutdown. So this only happens when he's in office, shaking my head. I know that's what it's seeming like. Because when he's not in office, this didn't happen. And then this happened at first when he first came in office. And now this is his second time getting in office. And it seems like it happens again. Ooh, Donald Trump, bruv. Anyway, it says under the shutdown, more than 750,000. Let me say that number one more time. 750,000 federal workers have been furloughed and ordered not to report to work. Now, this is scary, chat, because most of those people only relied on that one job. This is scary. Like, it's not even safe to have one source of income anymore. If they lay you off and you can't work anymore and the bills are due, what are you going to do? Do you at least have money saved? Do you at least have resources? Do you know people? Who knows you? Are you prepared if the bad stuff was to happen? This is because I guarantee the bad stuff is more likely to happen. You can guarantee bad stuff to happen than if you were to say, "Oh, you hope for the best." No, you need to prepare for the worst. Like I said, that's not being pessimistic either. It's about being smart. You said what? The bills? bill be wild, man. Tell me about it. I mean, honestly, it is crazy. Now, if you do receive social security payments, those will continue during a government shutdown. Many things will still continue, but the EBT and stuff that might stop. If EBT stops, most people they might not be able to have food or have as much food, which that's scary. Like we need food every day. That's scary, man. Yup, it says programs affected, including SNAP and Head Start. And you want to know what's crazy? Many kids are in Head Start. I used to be in Head Start when I was three years old. I'm not in Head Start anymore, but I used to. It says if the shutdown continues, the Supplemental Nutrient Assistance Program, which is EBT, which 42 million people across the country rely upon. Do we not understand? Chat, EBT, 42 million people across the country rely upon, will fail to pay full benefits in the month of November if this continues. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, in a letter to state agencies on October 10th, said there will not be enough funding to pay the entirety of November SNAP benefits if the shutdown continues. Did you hear that a gang of 10 tried to break in Area 51? Where was that at? Gang of 10? Was that in California or no? But yeah, bro, I know Venom. Like I know 42 million. Like that's I'm telling you. Oh, you don't know? Oh, okay, Joseph. I didn't hear about it though, but if I see it, I'll definitely say it next. It says Head Start, a federally funded early education program, is also bracing for disruptions. Guys, I'm telling you, it's not safe anymore. I know most people they're not gonna really analyze it like this until it really hits, but you need to be thinking about this stuff now. It's saying the National Head Start Association reported that 6 Head Start programs serving 6,525 children are already operating without federal funding. Now kids won't be able to get the education that they need. By November 1st, the shutdown will affect 134 additional Head Start programs across 41 states and Puerto Rico, serving 58,627 children, threatening the programs with closure. Chat, this is not a game. And most of those people that are receiving EBT probably don't need it either. That can be true. That can be true. Most of these people that are receiving EBT, they probably don't even need it. Maybe. And they don't care. Exactly, Venom. They don't care at all. True. I know. And it's what is most scary, what is so scary about this is that there's a lot of kids that need these programs to even learn. I'm not even just saying that. I'm not in those programs, but I'm thinking about all the younger kids who are 6, 3, 2, who need these programs, bro. Because their parents might not have it like that. All because Trump and Democratic can't agree. I know, bro. I know. Like goodness gracious, bro. Oh my. Let me see. Then we got okay, look, so someone else said, as a former Head Start teacher, she knows that Head Start provides a strong foundation for vulnerable young children, said Waters. Then they said they cannot allow the government shutdown to disrupt their education, their families, and their potential for success, which is very true. Trump has a TikTok post every week. For real? What does Trump post? Boys and Girls Club? Hmm. That's actually a perspective I wasn't thinking about. Now for the Boys and Girls Club, I don't know if they'll close that. That's a good idea. They do serve food. They serve food at the Boys and Girls Club, so that'd be pretty good. Random stuff. Oh, random stuff. I mean, he's Trump. He could just post anything. People will view it because he's Trump. Dang, chat. This is crazy. But yeah, chat. That was pretty much it. pretty much it of the government shutdown. Basically, what this could mean if it continues is that most people most people will be trying to figure out what should they do. They'll be scrambling for any type of money possible. They probably won't use any food banks or any resources, and they'll pretty much be in stress. However, we need to come to a conclusion. Doesn't matter if you're rich, in the middle, or if you're broke or poor. You need to understand that having one job, relying on the government, is no longer an option anymore. You have to at least do some stuff on your own. He ordered 12 Big Macs in one TikTok. Dang, 12 Big Macs, bro. I'd be full, bro. If I'm gonna eat 12 Big Macs, I have to be like extremely hungry. Like I'll probably have to go like 2 days without eating or anything. If I'm gonna eat 12 Big Macs in one TikTok, that's insane. Did he have fries with it? Did he have fries? Yeah, chat. There is high tax for the riches. Hmm, that's true, but they still got money though. Like even if there's high tax, they still got money compared to the people who rely on the government. Like people like Trump, they don't really care about this government shutdown. Trust me, they don't care because they're rich. As long as the Trump family is good, he's chilling. Which they're already rich, so they're good. The people at the bottom, you think Donald Trump care about them? No. This is what I'm saying. For the people at the bottom, if you don't have, I would say save up money if you can't, because I understand that people, most people or some people cannot save money. However, you need to position yourself to where the food already is. As long as their family and himself is rich, he doesn't care. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And that's just the harsh reality of the earth. He has no sympathy for the poor. Exactly. Chat. Y'all have to understand that. Don't expect anyone to come save you or care about you, bro. The rich should get taxed more. You could definitely argue that. You could definitely argue that. And I know that some people would say, I mean, if the rich should get taxed more, well, then the broke people should make more money. Now, that's definitely going to offend a lot of people if the rich were to say that, because it's a harsh truth. But you either have to find a way to make more money or position yourself where the money or resources that you need are. That's the way that you're going to do it. Hold on, chat. Something that fell. But yeah, that's the only way that you're going to do it. Facts. When Trump golfs, he buys the whole court. That's bro. He's rich. He's rich. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. The last time I played golf, it was in 2018. Yeah, it was in 2018. We were on some trip, and yeah, we were playing golf. I ain't gonna lie. Golf isn't bad. It's not a sport I would necessarily play or go pro in, but to chill and vibe, yeah, golfing is definitely good. Yeah, it was 2018. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, it was 2018. Yeah, that's the last time I played golf too, bro. Golf is okay. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of reminds me of that SpongeBob and Patrick episode where they was playing golf. Oh, did you hear that in New York they're giving mini apartments to homeless when they're on drugs? No, I didn't hear that at all. But that's actually good. I got this question. I forgot what it was. It was, would you rather help the homeless or, oh no, I know. Yeah, I had a question yet the other day when I was doing these prompts. It said, would I rather help the homeless or or would I help, what was it? It was like Greenland services or climate change. I picked homelessness because I feel as if homelessness is way more of a problem than climate change. I mean, climate change can still go on while people are homeless. People's needs need to be met. Most people's needs aren't met. Just basic needs too. I'm not saying you need to be in a high-rise apartment, but just even having shelter, just even having somewhere to sleep. Most people don't have that. For them being able to eat, most people don't have that. That's why I would rather fix that problem. You play golf today? Nice. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, I need to definitely play golf again. I haven't played golf in a while. I haven't played ping pong in a while. Ping pong is pretty good. I haven't played that in a while. I haven't played pool in a while. Bro, pool is a good game, bro. I love pool, man. Pool's probably my favorite out of all those. Pool. What's that other game, bro? It's that other game where you like it's kind of like soccer, right? What was it? Foosball. That's what it's called. Foosball. Yeah, I used to play that game. I used to low key cheat in that game. I can't even lie to y'all. I used to cheat. I used to low key cheat in foosball. But nah, that is a cool game. Foosball, I gotta definitely play that again. But yeah, those are the OG games I used to play. But yeah, chat. This is basically going back to the government shutdown, man. Hopefully, this is resolved before November. This is because if this is not resolved for November, many people could be having a lot of problems next month. I would say one thing I took from this is that when the government shutdown is first active, it doesn't affect anything at first, which is a good thing. But if it keeps on happening, it will affect it eventually, which is something we need to be cautious of. Like the rich don't care though. The rich have cash, so if they, as long as they have cash, they're good. The thing is, most people literally rely on EBT for like food. Like if they didn't have the EBT, they wouldn't be getting food. That's why they need to be thinking about it the most. Yeah, and like this is why they need to be thinking about it the most. Would you rather get $1 million but your enemy dies, or give your enemy $1 million but you get nothing? Dang, that is a good question. Now that one actually made me think. I'm not gonna lie. That's hmm. Would I rather get $1 million but your enemy dies, or give your enemy $1 million but you get nothing? I'd rather just give the enemy $1 million, but then yeah, but then you get nothing. I'd rather do that one. Man, this is why being poor is no longer an option. Exactly. You can't even rely on the government anymore. I know. You can't even rely. Now, chat. Now, I'm gonna ask that to y'all. Would y'all rather get $1 million but your enemy dies, or give your enemy $1 million but you get nothing? I'll tell you the reason why I picked the second one. It's because you learn yourself way more than if you was to get $1 million but your enemy dies. Like you didn't learn how to stay calm. You didn't learn how to be resilient. You didn't learn how to be strategic when it comes to enemies. You didn't learn anything. You more learn from giving your enemy $1 million than if you were to take and keep the $1 million but your enemy dies. So which one would y'all rather do? In the context of Jesus, I have to do the second option exactly. But even just for life in general, bro, like you'll learn way more doing that than if you were just to do the first option, because you're not gonna feel whole. You're not gonna feel whole at all. The reason why you're not gonna feel whole is because there's still gonna be some type of resentment in your heart. Even if your enemy died, there's still gonna be some type of animosity. When do you stream, bro? It kind of varies, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I would just say make sure to have noties on, because it kind of varies. Maybe I should start having a set time, but it kind of just varies. Yeah, you wouldn't want your enemy to die. It makes you sad, right? And some people have hearts. However, this whole ops, shooting people, them dying, and them glorifying bodies is why the West, the USA, this is why you have the problems that you have in the West. This is exactly why. It's because people glorify it. They normalize the shootings. They normalize the killings. This is not anything. That should not be normalized, and that's why a lot of people are getting guns. That's why many people they want to catch bodies. Catch. Why do you want to catch bodies? How about we go to college? How about we go to trade school? How about we learn something? You know what I'm saying? Great discussion. Appreciate it, Paul. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate all of y'all, man. Share y'all, like, comment, and subscribe. Instead of glorifying bodied in the world, we need to glorify God. Exactly. That is exactly my point. We need to glorify Jesus Christ. We need to glorify that there's nothing wrong going to school. There's nothing wrong getting a good education. There's nothing wrong. You don't have to be a game banger. You don't have to do any of that. There's nothing wrong. Would you rather gamble but have a 10% chance for $1 million, or kiss a stranger for 1 million? Uh, that's mm, that's like, I don't know, cause it's like kissing a stranger. I would say just give me the first one. Give me the first one. I ain't gonna lie. I'd rather just gamble, but have a 10% chance. Cause it depends who the stranger is though, dude. Like imagine the stranger was like your longtime friend that you haven't seen in years, or your like teacher or something. Like no, no, Venom said neither. Uh, yeah, I mean, if I had to pick one, it would be the first one because I don't know who the person is, man. Chat. Also, I want to get to the second topic real quick. We're just gonna say about 1 or 2 points about it, then we'll go to end life. But we're gonna be talking about why, and I made a video on it, so y'all could check it out today. I made a short on why Tylil was right, that when you do get money, when you do get clout, people change up. I said this in my video. I don't understand why some family members feel entitled to your success. Now that you've become successful, now since you worked hard and now you can enjoy the fruits of your labor, since they see it, they feel entitled. Oh, we're family members. Give me some money. Why do you feel entitled? Oh, now you feel entitled. You didn't feel entitled when he or she was broke. So why do you feel entitled now to get someone's riches? It doesn't make any sense, but this is how the human brain works. Then what's crazy is when you don't give them any resources, they're like, "Oh, you're cold," or "You changed." Like, what? That's insane. Hold on, chat, real quick. I'll be right back. Hold on, chat. I had to lock my door real quick. Hold on, chat. My bad, chat. My roommate was leaving real quick, so I had to lock the door real quick. But yeah, would you rather would you rather A, be rich, or B, famous? Honestly, I would just rather be rich, to be honest, because you can have all that money. You ain't gotta worry about people being in your business or people being like, "Oh, that's you, that's you." I ain't gonna lie. I'll take the richness to be famous. I ain't gonna lie. They didn't feel entitled when they were poor. Now you see the fruits of their labor and they want that fruit without any work. Exactly. And then yeah, yeah, exactly, Joseph. Yeah. And Venom, even going back to what you just said, what's crazy is that I would say that's bad, because when they feel entitled, now every time they have a problem, they won't be independent. They'll be like, "Oh, we got Joseph to get the money from. This is why you don't do that." And I'm actually about to get into that after I read Paul's comment. It sounds like when there is a death in the family, and when the individual never sees the person that died, now they want their possessions. It's true. It's actually true. That is very much true. Very much true. And it's what's actually crazy is that you guys want to be generous, right? But you don't want to be a pushover. Let me actually tell you why. If you guys haven't watched, what's it? My brother was just watching it. Like, it's before I left. What is that? What is that movie called? Um Bro, I forgot what this movie is called. It's this one movie. Oh, are we? It's either Are We Done Yet or Are We There Yet? It's one of those movies. Anyway, since the guy started taking care of since the guy started taking care of her kids, she was like, "Oh, we have him to keep on getting the kids." Like, see, this is why you have to be generous, but you can't be saying yes every single time. I was like, "Oh, nah, I am not doing that." Would you rather A, shave your head, or B, be bald? Isn't that like the same thing? Neither. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not shaving my head. The lowest cut I would go is waves. 360 waves. That's it. 360 waves. That's it. Are we there yet? Yes, bro. That's what I'm saying because like it. Now I'm not saying be mean, but what I'm saying is you can be generous, but like if it's for every little thing you're helping them with, they start instantly thinking like I'm telling you, if it's a girl and say that Josh keeps on helping her even for the even for the littlest stuff, she'll probably have a freaking water bottle right here by her and she'll literally, oh, there's Joshua. Oh, Joshy boy, I miss you, baby. Come get the water. And then Josh would just come and get the water. Like, bro, no. Then they instantly start calling on you, which is why you have to set boundaries. You ain't finna be saying, "Oh, Barry got nah. No, I don't. Be bald or have no eyebrows. Ew. Be bald or have no eyebrows. Oh, I don't even know which one to pick. Mm, hmm. I would have to go with be bald. I'll say be bald because I could wear something like this on my head because I don't have school, so I ain't got to worry about anybody seeing my head. So I'll probably say be bald. Now, if I was in school, I'd probably pick neither. I'm not gonna lie to you. If y'all in school, y'all know, man. If y'all know, y'all know. But yeah, that's pretty much. I feel like now, yeah, I would definitely, yeah, just rather be bald than having no eyebrows. Because even like, because like, imagine you have no eyebrows and then like you're getting ready for an interview. They're gonna be like, "Where is your eyebrows?" I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna have to say neither to that one. When you're saying be blind and be deaf, neither, bro. It's bro. You want to actually know what's crazy about like about what about seeing and hearing? It's actually crazy because we naturally just go to like we naturally just live life expecting just to like see or hear. But I'm telling y'all, the second y'all like lose it, I'm not saying y'all gonna lose y'all hearing or y'all eyesight. Let me go and say something. All right, let's say this water, right? You know how water is like, okay, we don't really think about it too much. It's actually crazy because if you actually lost water, if there was no water for 30 days, you would be talking about it so much. It's crazy how this simple thing, if there wasn't any more, we would all be dang near probably fiending for it. It's insane. And then when you get it back, you feel 100 times more grateful. I promise you. It's so true. But yeah, if you guys have any more questions, man, let me know in the chat. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Also, we're gonna talk about this one part real quick. I don't know if y'all watched. Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I need both though. I need both of my arms, both of my legs. I need both. I'm not gonna lie, Josh or Joseph. I need both. Just like edits in Fortnite. Nah, for real. Hey guys, if y'all didn't know, if y'all play on controller, then y'all know in Fortnite, right? So me and my brother were on, and bro, we couldn't edit at first because bro, Fortnite is always adding something. You'll do the leg. Yeah, Fortnite is always adding some. So me and my brother, we didn't know it was a edit in the settings that we had to switch off in order for us to edit again. However, we were still playing. Like we don't even complain when it comes to Fortnite. We like most people would have been like, "Oh, I'm gonna get off." Me and my brother are like, "Eh, it is what it is. We're just gonna keep on playing." And then what's crazy is that when we finally got editing back, oh, it felt beautiful. Kiss chefs in the air. It felt beautiful having edits back. It's crazy. But like before when we were just editing every day, none of that happened. It's just regular. But when you get it back, I'm telling you, you're gonna be way more grateful. I promise. But yeah, man, that's pretty much how it is. OG or battle royale? Dang, that's a good one. OG or battle royale? Hmm. Low key, I would say OG. I would say OG. That's when the fun times were. It was really fun to play Fortnite. Like even if you was a bot, even if you was a noob, it was still fun to play in OG. I'll go back to chapter one all day, man. Unfortunately, there's too many sweats now. The game ain't really the same anymore, but I still play it. However, when it was like chapter two, season one, all the way to chapter two, season four, bro, that was peak Fortnite. Peak Fortnite was, bro. I'll say one. One of its peaks was from chapter two, season one to chapter two, season four, especially chapter two, season four. Every time you land a Stark season, you always had a pump. No build or build. Oh, we going for build. We going for build. I don't even like no build. I'm not gonna lie. I have to build. I have to build in Fortnite. Have to. Yeah, guys. But yeah, we got some more topics to talk about next stream. We're gonna go a little more into why Tyler was right about how people switch when you get up there and clout and fame and money. And then do you play often? Yeah, I play every day. I put a time limit on how much I play though. And also tomorrow we're gonna. Oh, actually, not tomorrow. My bad, guys. Monday. Yeah, Monday. We're gonna talk about if Kai Cenat and Ty Lil part ways with each other, and then we're gonna talk about whether or not Kai had a mafia-thon or a begathon. So I know many people are saying he was begging for subs. So we're gonna get into that on Monday. Anyway, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Love you all. Peace, and have a great rest of your weekend.